see this video, this means that we are under attack on international waters by the Israeli Defense Forces.
An aid ship for the people of Gaza seized in international waters by Israel, which says it tried to breach the maritime blockade. An RT journalist is on board that vessel too. Top-level Eurocrats call on Greece to stay in the EU, but the Greeks themselves are getting increasingly angry over the bailout terms Brussels is pushing for. And Islamic State marks 1 year since announcing the establishment of its self-proclaimed caliphate, straddling the territories of Syria and Iraq. We look at how they got so far so quickly. Hi, live at 5 with RT International, 5 p.m. here in Moscow. Thanks for watching us wherever you are around the world. Our top story then with me, Kevin Owen. Israeli forces have intercepted a Swedish flagship leading the latest aid flotilla bound for Gaza. Campaigners against the blockade of the Palestinian territory say they've lost contact with it after it was approached by the Israeli Navy earlier today. That flotilla set sail from Messina in Sicily. The boat planned to reach its destination by Monday morning. Now it's reportedly being escorted by Israeli ships to the port of Ashdod and is expected to arrive there any time now. RT's online columnist Nadezhda Kevorkova is on board. We've been trying to get in touch with her, but unable to so far. We couldn't get hold of her since the Israeli interception, but this is what she said before that happened.
Да, мы видели, над нами летал военный вертолет, мы не смогли его познать. И сопровождал неизвестного происхождения военный самолет, который двигался очень медленно, очень близко над водой, параллельно с нами.
Well, the crew and activists on board have uploaded video statements on Twitter, pre-recorded, just in case this kind of thing happened.
If you see this video, this means that we are under attack on international waters by the Israeli Defense Forces.
If you see this video, it means that the Israelis have broken international law again. It means that they took us as prisoners, acting like pirates. It means that again, they have prevented us to reach Gaza.
I hope you not will see this film, this video, because if you do, then the Israeli commanders have stopped our ship, our mission to break the siege of Gaza.
RT journalist Richard Sudan had planned to join that flotilla on another boat and catch up with the vessel that's now been seized. Some of the activists prepared in Greece for their mission, and Richard was there from the beginning.
There's international activists from all over the world, from all walks of life, ranging from musicians to scholars, humanitarian aid workers, former parliamentarians, serving parliamentarians, a former president, actually, in fact. So everyone's been preparing for this mission for some time. Everyone's united around a common cause with a shared objective of raising the plight of the Palestinians in Gaza. So I spoke to the activists before they actually set sail and asked them what their aims and objectives were.
There are 1.8 million people that are living in Gaza, this tiny little area, and it's been under siege for now 9 years. And the people of Gaza need to know that the international community is concerned about them.
What the people especially in the United States, where I'm from, they don't realize what's going on in the West Bank and what's going on in Gaza, how the Palestinians are being treated, about there being a blockade for the whole Gaza Strip for a number of years, illegal blockade. So it's important that we get the word out.
It seems that everyone kind of has the same shared objective of raising the issue of what's happening in Gaza. People from all areas of public and civic life are taking part. It's a mission which aims to raise the plight of the Palestinians on an international basis.
Israel describes the raid on the Gaza flotilla flagship as, quote, uneventful, and says there were no casualties. We asked the Israeli Defense Forces for comment, but they told us no one was available. RT's Paul Aslia does have more now, though, on how the Israeli operation was carried out.
The Israeli Navy issued a statement in which it said that it was forced to act after, to quote, exhausting all diplomatic channels. However, the Israeli army is insisting that no violence was used when its commanders intercepted the vehicle in the early hours of this morning and climbed on board. We are aware that there were some SOS alerts that were issued just prior to those commanders climbing on board. Now, they handed out a letter that was written by the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, and this is what it had to say.
Welcome to Israel. It appears you've made a mistake along the way. Perhaps you meant to sail somewhere not far from here, Syria. There, Assad's regime is massacring his own people every day with the help of the murderous Iranian regime. There is no blockade of Gaza, and you're invited to transfer humanitarian supplies through Israel.
The remaining vessels are returning to their port of origin. The passengers on board say that they were well aware that Israel planned to intercept the flotilla, but really their intention was to draw attention to the dire humanitarian situation that people in Gaza have been experiencing for the past 8 years since Israel imposed its siege.
Last summer's Israeli assault in Gaza took a severe toll on the humanitarian situation. There's some 40,000 homes were destroyed or damaged by Israel's air raids, with universities, schools and mosques among them. Around 500,000 people were left homeless. Let's get some thoughts on this from Jamal Al-Qadari. He's a Palestinian MP. He also heads the Popular Committee Against the Gaza Siege. Hi there, thanks for your time today, sir. What was the point of Israel stopping this Gaza-bound flotilla? What's Israel so afraid of here?
Gaza live under the siege, under attack, 3 wars, and 8 years from the Israeli siege, and the people still suffering from a humanitarian crisis, big crisis in Gaza. And if you see now, 80% from Palestinian people in Gaza live under poverty line, and the income for the Palestinian people $1 per day, unemployment rate 50%.
So with that said, why is Israel trying to stop, with everything you're saying there, why is Israel trying to stop these boats with aid apparently on coming to you by sea? What is their problem with it?
The problem, Israel kidnapping the boat. Israel kidnapped the boat, kidnapped the activist people, because there is a siege in Gaza, because there is a blockade, because Israel imposed pressure on Gaza. This is, you can see why they stopped those people, the activist people coming to Gaza, because there is a siege, because Israel occupied Gaza and prevent any activist people coming to send a message for the Palestinian people who live in Gaza. This is the reason. Israel must destroy the hope for the Palestinian people, not to make any contact between Palestinian people who live under the siege and the activist people coming to assist them.
I'm going to stop you there for a second. You described the awful conditions people are living in there. Before I ask you to comment on that a bit more, we asked for some comment from Israel's foreign and defence ministries. Now, their side is they're insisting there is no humanitarian crisis in Gaza. I'm sure you've got some strong feelings on that. I'll hear them after we've heard the Israeli side of it. Let's listen in.
In Gaza, there is no humanitarian crisis whatsoever. I can say it very clearly, and there is no siege over Gaza. We have hundreds of truckloads of goods coming to Gaza every day.
There is no humanitarian crisis in Gaza or anything similar that requires a flotilla to bring aid to the Strip. Moreover, there was no humanitarian aid on this vessel, but rather it was a provocation, which is part of the delegitimization of Israel.
Let's go back to the first part of that, Jamal. There isn't much of a humanitarian problem in Gaza, according to the Israelis.
It's a false claim. Gaza live under harsh siege, harsh Israeli siege, and the trucks they come in to Gaza through one existing point, Karm Abu Salim, partially opened. There is 5 other existing points closed, totally closed. They needed for Gaza more than the trucks they talk about. Israel prevent raw material for building enter to Gaza, prevent the raw material for factories, there is a blacklist, Israeli blacklist on the existing points, Karwa Salim, prevent about 40% from the items that Palestinian people needed for daily life in Gaza. The reconstruction till now, not real reconstruction in Gaza. Now 60,000 flats destroyed through the war. You can see any people can come to Gaza to see that there is no one building destroyed totally, not rebuilt till now. And now we as 1 year for the war in Gaza. There's big problem in Gaza.
Yeah, the problem and the situation you're describing there are vastly different from how obviously the Israelis are seeing it. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your time. Palestinian MP Jamal Al-Qadari, live on RT International. Well, previous efforts to reach Gaza by sea with much-needed humanitarian supplies have also failed. The most dramatic attempt took place 5 years ago when a Turkish flotilla with hundreds of pro-Palestinian activists was attacked by the IDF.
Come back and take your seat. Assalamu alaikum. İsrail sabah namazı
Well, we're keeping tabs on the fate of the aid flotilla's lead boat. You can keep abreast of the developments on air across all our platforms online as well, rt.com.